So we know probability is number of event divided by total sample space, total number of outcome. So in case of tossing a coin, we can say that if you are looking for total sample space, it will be 2, because it can either be a head or it can be a tail. So total sample space is 2. Now if you're looking for just a tail, or if you're looking for just a head, so it's going to be 1, right? So either number of head or number of tail is going to be 1. So what is the probability that you're going to toss a coin, and after that you're going to get a head, and that is going to be 1 out of 2. So number of event is 1 and total sample space is 2. What is the probability that you're going to toss a coin and you're going to get a tail? So number of tail is 1 and total number of sample space, total outcome is 2. So that is going to be fixed. Now we call this a fair or unbiased coin. So this will be mentioned. That means assuming that the coin has not been tampered with, it's a fair and unbiased coin. Now if it is not a fair coin, if it's not unbiased, in that situation what's going to happen is you can have a different probability each time. You see, whenever you have an unbiased coin, then only then the probability will work and the probability will be constant. So in the question you will get this information. You might say, why is this additional information given? Well, it clarifies the restrictions that this coin is exactly fair and it is unbiased. That means the probability will be half or 50%. That's what it means. If for some reason there is something wrong with the coin, it can be manipulated. In that case they will mention that it's a biased coin. In that case they will make up a probability. It doesn't really matter anymore. So we are talking about fair and unbiased coin. Now let's do a particular question. So suppose if they mentioned a coin is tossed twice, that means the experiment is repeated, it's done twice. A coin is tossed twice. Find the probability it will show head both times. Now in this particular question you have to remember that when we say something is done twice, it means the first one is head and the second time it is also head. So this is known as the basic rule of probability, or the AND rule. So the AND rule of probability says that we have to multiply the probability of each of the event. That's what it means. That means if you have probability of an event A followed by the probability of event B, so the AND rule says you multiply the individual events of the probability. That's what it says. You multiply the individual events of the probability. You have to remember the AND rule for this math. So this is going to be, we know the probability of getting ahead is fixed. It's half or 50%. AND rule means multiply. The second time again it's going to be half. So it's going to be 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 means 25% or 0.25. So the probability that you toss a coin twice and each time you get head and head, that is going to be 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. On the other hand, if the question was like this, if this is A, in question B, if it was find the probability it will show tail both times. In that case, if it is going to show tail, that means you're going to get probability of tail and probability of tail. As we know, in case of a trial experiment like these, the probabilities are fixed and we have the probability memorized. The probability of having a tail is half. And means multiplication from the AND rule. The probability of getting a tail again is also half. Probability is same. So it's again 1 by 4. It's exactly the same. Now suppose in question number C The question is, find the probability it will be one tail and one head. Now, this particular question, we need a concept known as permutation. Permutation means the ordering is extremely important. So, in probability, we use a concept of permutation, meaning number of arrangements where order is important. So the order is important. Now, why is order important over here? Well, since they mentioned one tail and one head, we do not know whether it is tail first and head, or we do not know head first and tail. Two situations can happen and both are important, because in probability permutation, where the number of arrangement with order is important, so that concept is extremely useful, because we want to know whether the tail is coming first then head, or the head is coming first and then tail. In that case, the probability is going to use, the first one is tail, that is half, and the second one is head, that is also half. Now, the OR rule. So we have a concept of the OR rule of probability. So the OR rule of probability is basically the addition rule. So the addition rule of probability states that if you have probability of event A or probability of event B, that means it is equivalent to adding the probability of A with the probability of B individually, and that is known as the OR rule. So by that concept, when they say find the probability it will be one tail and one head, that means when you have OR, you're adding the probability. Again, now head is half and tail is also half, because you know, if a fair and unbiased coin is there, that is going to be the probability. Now, by doing the calculation, we can have 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4, which is basically 2 by 4, which is going to be half.